Hello everybody, this is Cap here, and I would like to welcome you to the 5th video in my Visual Basic tutorial series. And in this video we are going to be going over arrays. So arrays basically allow you to group similar information, or I guess you'd call it data, in one place instead of having to make separate variables for them all. So let's say we had a group of students. Well, instead of making a separate variable for each student, we can group all of those students under one array named students. So we could say dim students, and then in parentheses we're going to say how many students we have. We'll say 3, and as string. Now Visual Basic does this a little bit differently than other languages like C++ or Java. Instead of going from 0 to 2, it actually does go from 0 to 3. So technically we don't have 3 elements, we have 4. So when we're assigning down here, say students 0 equals Bob, students 1 equals Jill, students 2 equals Jane, and students 3 equals Billy. So as you can see, we actually have 4 elements and not just 3. I guess you could say we're saying what it goes up to. So it goes from 0 to 3 and not 0, 1, 2, 3. So let's just use a for loop here, which we'll go over later, to print these out. No. There we go. Alright, so just so you guys kind of understand what's going on here, we declare a temporary variable here and set it equal to 0. So we're going from 0 to students.getUpperBounds, and we pass in 0 because we only have one dimension. So we just pass in 0 here. If we had 2 dimensions, and we were accessing the second dimension, we would put in 1, but you'll see that later on in this video. So when it goes through, it's going to print out students I, which is equal to 0 now, and the next iteration through, it'll be students I, which will be 1, so then it'll print out Jill, and then 2 and 3. So that's kind of how it works there. But we'll go over loops in later videos. So save it and run it. As you can see, it printed out our names. So there is another way to declare arrays here, and it's a little bit easier if you already know what all of your elements are going to be. When you say dim students equals, and then just type in however many names we need. And we can save it and run it. Okay, now there are also multi-dimensional arrays, which are a little bit more complicated than the one-dimensional array that we're using here. So let's say we want to give each student a ID number. So we'll go in another pair of brackets, say Bill, and we want his ID number to be 01. And then we'll go Jane, say 02. Oh. Okay, and for simplicity we'll just kind of stop there. So we'll erase this and paste this in. Whoops. Yeah, I was kind of messing around with this earlier. And we'll say students. So this is what I was talking about earlier. Now here we are accessing the other dimension, so we put in 1. So let's see here. Run this, and we can see them both and their student ID. So when accessing multidimensional arrays, or well, two-dimensional arrays, you can think of it as a table. So just kind of draw this here. It's a little bit too small of a table there. Go out there. So we have Bill, and his ID number, and then we have Jane and her ID number. So we'll say 0, 0, 1, 1. Okay, so if you think of it like this, in order to access Bill, we just have to say console.writeLine 0, 0. Oh, well, students 0, 0. As you can see, we got Bill. So if we wanted to get Jane, we would say 1, 0. Save it, run it, and as you can see, we got Jane. So that's just a bit of an easy way to think about how you're accessing multidimensional, or well, two-dimensional arrays. But for this video, I just want you guys to get kind of a firm grasp on, one-dimensional arrays. And we might do a little bit more on multidimensional arrays later on, if that's something you guys want to know about. So that's pretty much all I wanted to cover in this video. If you liked it, please let me know by hitting the like button. If you've seen a few of my videos and really like them, you can go ahead and subscribe so you can see when I post new ones. And I would like to thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video.